Hello everyone. Welcome to this video on adding the report viewer component to an ASP.NET MVC application. Before getting into the video, let's talk a bit about the report viewer in Bold Reports. The report viewer is a reporting control that empowers web and desktop applications with the ability to view SSRS RDL and RDLC reports and export them. In this video, we will see how to create an ASP.NET MVC reporting web application to display an SSRS RDL report using the Bold Reports ASP.NET MVC report viewer. Let's create an ASP.NET MVC application. Open Visual Studio 2019. And click Create a New Project. Now, choose ASP.NET Web Application.NET Framework. And then click Next. Change the project name. And then click Create. Select MVC. Select the Web API checkbox. And then click Create. After clicking the Create button, the default ASP.NET MVC application is created. Now let's install the NuGet packages. In the Solution Explorer tab, right-click the project or solution. And choose Manage NuGet Packages. In the Browse tab, search for the Bold Reports.web package and install it in your MVC application. Similarly, install the remaining packages, Bold Reports.mvc5. and Bold Reports.javascript. I have described the purpose of each package in the following table. The Bold Reports.web package contains helper methods to create a web API service to process reports. The Bold Reports.mvc5 package contains HTML helpers to create a reporting control. The Bold Reports.javascript package contains the necessary scripts and theme files required to render the report viewer control. The following table provides details about the dependency packages and their usages. The Bold.licensing package is a .NET library for validating the registered Bold license in an application at runtime. The syncfusion.pdf.aspnet package is used for exporting RDL or RDLC reports in PDF format. The syncfusion.docio.aspnet package is used for exporting RDL or RDLC reports in Word format. The syncfusion.xlsio.aspnet package is used for exporting RDL or RDLC reports in Excel format. The syncfusion.presentation.aspnet is used for exporting RDL or RDLC reports in PowerPoint format. The newtonesoft.json package is used to serialize and deserialize data for report viewer. The dependent packages will be installed automatically on installing the Bold Reports.web package. Let's register the namespace. Open the web.config file from the Views folder. And register the Bold Reports.mvc namespace under the Namespaces tag. Let's disable unobtrusive mode. Open the web.config file from the root directory. And set the unobtrusive JavaScript enabled to false. You can also skip this by referencing the ej.unobtrusive.min.js and the _layout.cshtml file. I have added the documentation link for referencing the ej.unobtrusive.min.js file in the video description for your convenience. Let's reference scripts and CSS. While installing the Bold Reports.javascript NuGet package, the scripts, which are required to render the report viewer control, will be added in the scripts folder. The CSS files are added to the content folder. In this video, I am using local scripts and CSS. You can also use scripts and CSS from CDN links. Open the _layout.cshtml page from the shared folder under Views. And replace the code in the head tag. The purpose of each script and CSS file is explained in the following table. bold.reports.all.min.css includes the UI theme for the JavaScript reporting control. The jQuery is common jQuery script used to render the bold reports JavaScript reporting widgets in the report viewer control. ej2base.min.js, ej2data.min.js, ej2pdfexport.min.js, and ej2svgbase.min.js are used to render the gauge item. ej2lineargauge.min.js renders the linear gauge report item. ej2circulargauge.min.js renders the circular gauge report item. ej2maps.min.js is used to render the map report item. ej.chart.min.js renders the chart report item. bold.reports.common.min.js, bold.reports.widgets.min.js and bold.reportviewer.min.js are mandatory to render the bold reports report viewer. Let's configure the bold reports script manager. In the _layout.cshtml page, use the reporting script manager in the body element, which places the report viewer control initialization script in the web page. In order to initialize the scripts properly, the script manager should be included at the end of the body element. Let's initialize the report viewer component. Open the index.cshtml page from the home folder under Views. And add the code to initialize the report viewer component. Now let's add some reports that have already been created. Create a folder named Resources in the root folder of your application. This is where we will keep the RDL reports. For this video, I am going to add the Sales-order-detail.rdl file to the Resources folder. You can get the Sales-order-detail.rdl file from the video description. I have also included a link to more samples and demos there. Let's configure the Web API. The ASP.NET MVC Report Viewer requires a Web API service to render the report viewer control. Right-click the Controllers folder. Select Add. And then select New Item from the context menu. In the Add New Item dialog, select Web API Controller class. And name it ReportViewerController.cs. Then click Add. In the ReportViewerController.cs file, add the bold reports.web.reportViewer namespace. Inherit the RPort controller interface. And then implement the methods. The RPort controller interface has a declaration of action methods that are defined in the Web API controller for processing RDL, RDLC and SSRS reports, and for handling resource requests from the report viewer control. The post-report action method is used to post the request in the report process. The getResource method is used to get the resource from the report. The onInitReportOptions method is initialized when the report is about to be processed. The onReportLoaded method is initialized when the report and subreport start loading. The report helper class contains helper methods that help to process a post or get request from the report viewer control and return the response to it. It has the following methods. The getResource method is used to return the report resource to the requested key. The processReport method is used to process the report request and returns the result. Let's add the routing information. Routing is the process of directing an HTTP request to a controller, and the functionality of this processing is implemented in system.web.routing. The action parameter names the action method on the controller, which is used to map the method in the controller. Open the Web API config.cs file from the app_start folder of your application. Modify the route template in the register event to include the action parameter in the URL. Now let's set the report service URL and the report path. The report path property sets the path of the report file. And the report service URL property specifies the report web API service URL. Open the index.cshtml page and set the report service URL and report path properties. To preview the report viewer, build and run the application. You can see the sales order detail report is loaded in the bold report viewer. In this video, we learned how to add a report viewer component in an ASP.NET MVC application using bold reports. Stay tuned to this channel for our upcoming videos on bold reports. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.